The Ordo Malleus, literally meaning Order of the Hammer in Low Gothic, is one of the three major ordos of the Inquisition. Based on the moons of Saturn, it is tasked with the responsibility of investigating and destroying the physical manifestations of chaos throughout the Imperium. Known colloquially as Daemonhunters, the members of the Ordo Malleus are individuals of great strength of will, able to face the agents of chaos without flinching. Due to the highly secretive nature of its mission and the great mental strength required to combat the forces of chaos, the Ordo Malleus is by far the smallest major order of the Inquisition. However, the strength of the inquisitors of the Ordo is bolstered by their Chamber Militant, the Grey Knights. The Ordo Malleus is considered one of the oldest and most ancient arms of the Inquisition that was created by the decree of the Emperor prior to his internment and ascension to the Golden Throne of Terror. The exact date of this decree is unknown, although it is known that during the Great Crusade, the forces of the Imperium encountered many worlds that worshipped foul demonic beings as gods. Such worlds were usually cleansed or cast into the warp, though those that were not instead had their demons imprisoned by psychic wards on their planets. It was upon the shoulders of the Ordo Malleus that this unsavory duty fell, though at the time they could more accurately be described as a secular agency. Like all pre-heresy organizations, the Ordo was once tethered to the Emperor's direct authority, but in the hours following the defeat of War Master Horus, the Emperor believed that others must fill his role, guarding humanity from the warp to thwart the designs of the Chaos Gods. Thus, they continued to operate independently and carry out their mission in secret after he was entombed on the Golden Throne. 1,500 years later, the Imperium found itself brutally besieged in the War of the Beast, when an Orc warboss, known simply as the Beast, led an incursion into the heart of Segmentum Solar. At the time, the Inquisition's Daemonhunters based around Saturn were still a closely guarded secret, so much so that not even the High Lords knew of their existence. During the war, the unique gravity of the Xenos threat was recognized, and the Inquisition was formally split between the Ordo Malleus and Ordo Xenos, so that humanity could better prepare to face new threats. Following the death of one of the original Inquisitors, Veritas, Inquisitorial Representative Venan succeeded him and oversaw the formal founding of the Ordo Malleus and the formal creation of what is now known as the Inquisition. To do this, she met with the first Grey Knights Supreme Grand Master Janus on Titan. Historians and savants nonetheless often point to the Emperor's original declaration, known as the Charge of the Malleus, as the Ordo's founding moment. The charge is written in gold over the ultimate gateway of the Malleus Fortress on Titan, and is reaffirmed by every Malleus member upon elevation to the rank of Inquisitor. Regardless of when the organization technically began, it evolved and adapted as time went on. Most notably, it began to espouse the imperial cult, as the secular Imperium morphed into a theocracy worshipping the Emperor. Its mission to repress the threat of chaos so too became a matter, not just of the security of state, but of divine importance against the unholiest of arch-enemies. With the later creation of the third and final major Ordo, the Ordo Hereticus, the Ordos Malleus and Xenos thus joined into an independent, though closely linked triad that comprised the Inquisition. Together, they were to manage the threat within, the threat without, and in the case of Malleus, the threat beyond. Being a division of the Inquisition, the Ordo Malleus consists of exceptional individuals who are involved in a covert war for mankind's continued survival, which has been the case for the last 10,000 years. These members of the Ordo Malleus are specifically concerned with eliminating the physical manifestation of chaos itself, and have pledged their existence to the discovery and removal of the threat of the demonic wherever it is found. To aid them, they have at their disposal every member of the Imperium and will not hesitate to requisition local troops at a moment's notice. Even the High Lords of Terror and the Adeptus Astartes are beholden to follow their directive without hesitation. Arguably the most secretive order, the Ordo Malleus goes to great lengths to hide the existence of chaos and its servants from the greater masses of mankind, fearing the dangers of such knowledge. As such, when the Ordo Malleus is ever mentioned, it is referred to as simply being the watchdog of the Inquisition itself, concealing its actual purpose as the Imperium's elite hardline against the Imperium. Beyond wider perception shaping, it is also their duty to root out sources of demonic activity and combat such forces in whatever form they take. Due to the intensity of the warp, Malleus Inquisitor missions often see them engaging their foes in both hand-to-hand and mental combat. This means that the Inquisitors of the Ordo Malleus are mostly psychers, and those who lack such abilities have tremendous mental resolve. As they are a hidden group, the identities of Ordo Malleus Inquisitors is kept secret, though this is not an easy task when fighting against demons and sorcerers. When members of the Ordo must publicly appear in the course of their investigations, they are allowed to adopt uniforms that hide their features, which helps them to keep their true identities a secret. Only the Emperor and the cyber libraries of the Ordo Malleus have an accurate recollection of the events of the Horus Heresy. Among the targets of the Ordo include the raiders from the traitor legions, covens consisting of chaos worshippers, and the sensei who are seen as a threat to the Imperium. It's known that certain inquisitors of the Ordo Malleus have been allowed entry into the Black Library of Chaos, accompanied by Harlequins who kept a close eye on their visitation. In normal circumstances, the Ordo Malleus focuses its investigations towards two main threats: the demon without and the demon within. The demon without are demons that have physically manifested in the material universe and mortals dedicated to the service of chaos. The demon within are inquisitors declared extremis diabolus for heretical actions. Unlike the Imperial Inquisition as a whole, the Ordo Malleus has a more rigid and formalized hierarchical structure. It is controlled by a council of 169 masters, all of whom have the right to have a direct audience with the Emperor. Their authority even extends to the inquisitorial representative, who has been in the past tried and executed by the masters of the Ordo. Below the masters are the proctors and proctors minor, with each being responsible as well as in control of a chamber of the Ordo. The chambers themselves are named after their founding proctor and serve as the basic unit of the Ordo Malleus. Beyond the rank-and-file inquisitorial duties, a select few chambers carry out specialized duties. The chambers theoretical and historical consist of Inquisitors Historical. These organizations are formed from the older ranking members who are unable to continue their service either due to ill health or because of infirmity, instead being assigned to research and collation projects at the administratum libraries. Additionally, the Chambers Practical is responsible for sector establishments of the Ordo Malleus in the field. The Ordo Malleus works directly under the Emperor's warrant and thus has a completely free hand in its operations. This means that an Inquisitor Ordinary of this Ordo is able to demand anything he sees fit in order to accomplish his duty with no explanation being offered. Any Imperial servant that meets with an Ordo Inquisitor must comply and obey their command. The most common demand is for troops to support their operations, though such forces almost never survive in their service. Regardless, honors are given to units that are attached to the Ordo Malleus should they die in their service. Members of the Ordo tend to favor simple yet sinister uniforms with black, loose-fitting habits over their armor, along with large hoods that hide their features in shadows. Graphic electus are an unofficial yet traditional addition to their uniform, with their appearance beneath the skin being a disturbing quality to outsiders. By tradition, Inquisitors of the Ordo Malleus tend to have one electu for each coven member that they have discovered and cleansed, though it's not uncommon for some of their number to be covered with elaborate designs all across their body. The designs of the Electus have been fixed for generations, with the motifs being variations of the Ordo Malleus's enemies, namely demonic in nature. The badge of the Ordo takes the form of the imperial eagle holding a rod and an axe, which is worn either on the shoulder or on the right breast. Masters and proctors are always psykers, who carry force rods as a symbol of their authority, though in combat engagements, this is supplemented with a power axe. The armies of the Ordo Malleus are small, as only a select few individuals are trusted by the Inquisition with extensive knowledge of chaos. Their Chamber Militant is the Grey Knights, a unique Astartes chapter sworn to the Ordo's service. Extensively trained to fight the demon, the Grey Knights alone bear the full knowledge of the nature of chaos. They are the most powerful force the Ordo Malleus can bring to bear, above even exterminatus, and may only be deployed at the command of a Malleus Grandmaster, as the life of a single Grey Knight is considered to be an infinitely precious resource. Millennia-old Aegis armor inscribed with wards protects the bodies and souls of the Grey Knights against physical, psychic, or demonic assault. The faith of Grey Knights, combined with their innate psychic talents, is so pure that it can cause demons physical damage and pain and weaken their ties to the material realm. A Grey Knight's standard weapons include thrice-blessed storm bolters and nemesis force weapons. The Ordo's demon hunter strike forces usually consist only of a Malleus Inquisitor, the Inquisitor's personal retinue, and as many Grey Knights as can be spared. In battle, the greatest advantage of any Malleus force lies in the specialized and consecrated weaponry available to it. Utilizing techniques and metallurgy lost to the rest of the Imperium, Malleus savants and allied tech priests produce and maintain immensely powerful arms and armor specifically designed to combat the demonic. In addition to this equipment, the Malleus Remit allows any demon hunter strike force to be bolstered by units from the Adeptus Astartes, the Imperial Guard, and the Officio Assassinorum. Only the ranks of the Grey Knights are expected to survive in the service to the Ordo Malleus. All other troops that are seconded to the Ordo officially end up dying in this duty. This is because, as any force fights alongside the demon hunters, they naturally become aware of the existence of chaos and demons. As their duty is to hide this threat from the Imperium, the Ordo Malleus always has any surviving troops executed following a campaign or battle, giving all those that are killed full honors shortly after their elimination. The only major exception to this secrecy by extermination policy are units from the Adeptus Astartes, because the execution of a space marine is seen as being wasteful. Nonetheless, any Astartes serving with the Ordo Malleus is mind-scrubbed in order to remove any memory of the Ordo's true purpose. This makes the Grey Knights one of the closest guarded secrets of the Astartes, with only some of the chapter masters being aware of their existence. Only the Grey Knights are allowed to retain their memories of their duty with the Ordo Malleus, as their centuries of service has shown that they can keep the secret of the hidden war against the demonic forces of chaos. Following the creation of the Great Rift and subsequent psychic awakening, the Ordo Malleus now faces demonic threats and incursions on a scale previously unseen. To try and contain the mayhem, they have overseen the annihilation of billions of citizens. Although the era Indomitus has proven a brutal challenge for their ranks, they still continue their efforts, tirelessly working to ensure that mankind is safe from the demonic threat, whether it knows it or not. Thank you for listening to this entry from the Warhammer 40,000 Lexicanum.